Welcome back to the Chopp Shop Radio. What's going on? What's good? What's up, Jesse? What's up, brother? Welcome back to the Chopp Shop Radio. We are back. If you were tuning into the website, actual website, you actually got to see the
Rusty
the
just interview.
Are we good over there? We good over there?
All
right. So the thing is, oh my God, I know.
Oh God.
Oh
show
my
that,
God.
show
I wasn't even gonna drink tonight, but this is Kentucky Lightning, made by Two Roads. Two Roads is my favorite beer company out of Connecticut. No, Kentucky Lightning. Kentucky Lightning is actually put in bourbon bottles. Two Roads is best friend Justin is from CT. You know what I'm saying? This is his first time being semi-famous, Facebook famous. So I wanted to talk about something that.
You want to say that shit when you're on his boat?
I want to talk. Yeah, right. I want his boat that never goes nowhere but the dock. So I want I want you guys to weigh in on this subject. So there's going to be two schools of thought, and I think there's going to be some real powerful emotions around this subject, right? Because when we deal with the concept of AI, right? Artificial intelligence.
That's gonna be deaf for niggas.
There's two schools of thought. There's a school of thought that thinks that is the next stage of human progression to create something that.
How?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Let me give two schools of thought.
I'm just jumping the gun.
Let me give the two schools of thought, and then I'll pass it to you for you to give me your ideas on it. So the two major schools of thought, the strong ones. There's gonna be different ideas, but the two major ones I think is. The first one is going to be that it's the next stage of human progression. And I'm going to tell you how. Imagine whoever is at the forefront of it, like the United Nations who fights evil and all this, right? Soldiers that don't need to sleep. What about dangerous jobs that are like coal mining and stuff like that people die from. People die deep sea fishing. You know what I'm saying? Like it can save lives to have artificial intelligence humans, and to imagine a doctor that doesn't fuck up. Imagine a transplant that doesn't make mistakes.
So precise.
Yeah. Imagine a police officer that can't get killed, so officers don't die in a line of duty in very troubled areas. But that's one side. Hold on. That's one side. Yeah. The other school, right, which is more the school that I come from, says that this is the gateway for some real fucked up Terminator shit, right? Because think about it. Like, human beings are so easily corrupted. A device that can connect to Wi-Fi is extremely corruptible, and robots will be able to be that way. So let me read this. I'm going to read this quick thing. All right. So on October 25th, at the Future Investment Initiative Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia granted citizenship to Sophia, a robot created by Hanson Robotics. Reactions were appropriately sarcastic and incredulous from the robot. Given trendy fears about AI and the deeply troubling status of women and migrant laborers in Saudi Arabia, many writers commented that Sophia is a public relations stunt, which I can agree with, because if you think about it, like, it's kind of interesting that, Saudi Arabia is not too friendly when it comes to women's rights, historically. Muslim countries women are not allowed to drive by themselves.
They just passed that law. I was about to say that. They passed that law recently where women are able to drive.
Yeah. So, but I mean, recently. 2017.
Recently, like a couple months ago.
Yeah, 2017. So this robot Sophia, I watched the video and it was weird because one of the creators, he looked like he was a robot himself. He was weird. He had no eyebrows. He was bald. He was a very weird looking guy. And he's talking to her, and I think it was a little staged. Like, I don't think she was acting that like I think there was a little staged, because I believe that AI has come in advanced, but I don't believe that a robot can be. I don't believe that a robot can be programmed to detect subtleties in conversation. And she was replying, which was believable. He was saying, well, I'm Sophia, but I'm alive. Am I alive? And this and that. And that made sense. But then he goes, well, are you happy to be alive? She goes, by your tone, it indicates I should be happy. Like, I don't believe that a robot can detect subtleties in tone and voice to be able to determine like what you mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you said,
almost like a text.
Yeah, like if you said,
if you text somebody a certain thing,
like
they don't understand it.
That's their program too.
No,
well, but how would they though?
No, the whole world is built off adaptation.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No matter what, it can adapt to that.
Yeah, but a robot.
You know why they can adapt to it? It's because I don't understand what you're saying. Like for instance, we talk about like text messages.
Yeah.
A lot of people say text messages can take, or even just a post, a Facebook post for that matter, can get taken out of context because there's no, there's no feeling behind it. There's no voice fluctuation or emotion behind it.
Exactly.
So it can get misconstrued when you're reading it and you're taking your own.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? You're taking your own analysis, not analysis, but lack of a better word. You're taking your own idea of what that person said. You're interpreting it your own way.
Things get taken out of context all the time.
It's out of context. But
do you think that artificial intelligence can detect deflection and?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with artificial intelligence that makes it so desirable, because whatever a phone can only do what I program it to do. A computer can only do what I program it to do. You know what I mean? But artificial intelligence
has its own mind.
It learns from, so it adapts. So if the robot is programmed to do this for you every day, but then every day you say I want this, it learns from what you do every day and changes its program and adapts to what you do. We're talking about like Rosie the robot. You know Rosie the robot is from the Jetsons.
Yeah.
She's a maid, right? So she's programmed to do the dishes, make your food, and that's what she do. Just do the dishes. At 10 o'clock, she do the dishes. At 8 o'clock, she makes your food, and she's programmed to do. But if you start telling her, I want my food at 7 o'clock, she changes and adapts to what you make outside of her program.
So do you think a robot can detect tone and voice?
But that's the whole beauty behind the chase for artificial intelligence. Is because that's why it's so all the technology that we have, artificial intelligence is the one that everybody's trying to strive and bring to the forefront
because
and make it.
Because that's the level we haven't achieved. So which?
But why would you want it? But let me say this.
Right.
So when it comes to programming something, right? Yo,
shh.
When it comes to programming something, it's only as smart as you program it to be, basically. But if you give the ability to have artificial intelligence, it can possibly grow smarter than you.
Well, because but here's the thing. She said. So here's the thing about the robot, right? Because she said. So the robot said like quoted a classic writer, American writer, and the robot was like, how do I know that if I was just born today? And he said because you have unlimited access.
Google.
Yeah, but they have she has access.
Artificial intelligence is really connected to Google.
Yeah, you can just look up anything.
So once a person says something to the artificial to the robot or whatever, it goes back.
As long as they can connect to Wi-Fi, they don't even need memory.
It goes back into that Google search into his brain.
So what school of thought do you belong to? Do you belong to the school of thought that thinks it's a positive or a negative thing that we're giving? I mean, listen. So here, but wait.
Well, let me say this: if you make an actual physical, all right, say like you make a hard drive, and this hard drive look like this, and it has artificial intelligence in it.
Yep.
What can this hard drive really do to you to hurt you?
Nothing.
It just
has a body.
If it has a body, arms, functioning motion, it's almost like it's a machine called the cheetah. It has 4 legs, has a camera, and it runs like a fucking animal.
The military uses it, right?
Maybe
military
not
uses
yet.
shit like that.
But imagine if you take something like that, put a gun on it, and give it artificial intelligence.
I personally think that this is a whole new definition of war, because you got to remember the hackers on this. So people, I feel like this whole shit is just anybody can hack into it, and it'll be like a whole new kind of war. So it's like, it's a negative way too. Just like you
program it to be a police officer, even criminals do it, and the fucking cops selling drugs. The robot cops selling drugs.
Not to say like this. So you got the other countries coming and hacking this shit, and now they're killing all Americans. You know what I mean? So it's a cause for a new war.
Even for, Danger said it's a setup for human annihilation. Yeah. Why would humans want to create something that's going to annihilate the whole human race?
You want to know why? Because man. You know what it is? Man has this like thing about us, right? And I don't mean man like just men. I mean mankind. Humans. Man has this thing about us where we don't care about the penalty. We just have this like childlike desire to do something nobody's done. And it drives man.
Yeah.
And it drives man. Why do you think that a person that was totally not into war, totally not an aggressive person, totally not a killer, right? Helped make the atom bomb. Because
there's a market for it.
It's not just a market. It's deeper than that.
I understand what you're saying. It's the machismo of saying I'm the first that does this.
It's not just the machismo because it's not just a male thing. It's just a human thing in us
where
we like to be. You ever see a kid? You see a kid when they do something. You're like, oh, that's the first time you did it. And even if they're little, they get like it's just we like to be like you know what it is. I'm gonna tell you why. Humans will do something like go down this dark road of artificial intelligence. It's because we know that we're going to die one day, and we know the only way to be immortalized is to leave a legacy, and the best way to leave a legacy is to do some shit that nobody's done. And the person that perfects the artificial intelligence will be remembered more than the person who created it.
And that's what I said. The chase. You know what I'm saying? The chase, the discover.
Yep.
Artificial intelligence. Is so rampant because nobody else has ever done it.
Exactly.
That's at the beginning.
So,
but at the same time, it can be used like you said earlier. It can be used for good.
Yep.
But like I said, if you take artificial intelligence and just have this a hard drive and it can artificially grow and learn.
Yep.
What can it really do to you?
Yep.
Can't really do anything to you. But when you're taking
provide you information.
But when it doesn't have a limit on what it could do, and it can alter because
it's stronger than you. Who gonna fight a robot, nigga?
You know Isaac Asimov.
The robot was like, yo, I'm sick of you now. I'm gonna kill you.
You know Isaac Asimov.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
You know Isaac Asimov is.
You all set, but this little shit can have artificial intelligence. Can't do anything to you.
You know Isaac Asimov is. He's a yo. Y'all gotta talk a little lower. He's a very well known science fiction author. And Isaac wrote. He was the person that came up with. Obviously, it was fictitious at the time because we had nothing even remotely close to what Sophia is. Right? He came up with this concept that translated over into. I mean, he wrote this shit like in the '60s, and it even translated all the way to movies like the Will Smith movie was in. What was a Will Smith movie? I Robot.
They added today.
So what I'm saying is that those rules, like they were supposed to be. It's the mythology. It's just like with the
we get it.
It ain't like the zombie. It's like the vampire rules. Like they're not real, but they're something that anytime somebody writes a story, they go by the 3 laws of robotics. And one of the ones was the robot. I forget what it was. Robots are not allowed to alter themselves. Robots cannot harm a human.
Who says that?
No, but I'm saying, who says that you got to wear garlic to get rid of a vampire? It's the same shit.
Vampires aren't real. Robots are real.
Yes, but at the time, the technology they were talking about wasn't real, so it was just as fictional as a vampire at the time. Okay, so what I'm saying is that people, what you have to understand about humankind is that a lot of real shit that we have started off as a fantasy in somebody's head, and then it gave people the idea. A lot of our satellite defense shit came off of inspiration from Star Wars. A lot of the Japanese's military technological advancements.
I get that. So
came off of I think that where artificial intelligence is, it got further from that fantasy. Concepts.
Yes. Like I said, the chase,
self-fulfilling prophecy,
the chase to perfect artificial intelligence. So it's so live that people are just trying to, like you said, be the first. But there's pros and there's cons to everything.
So let me read this. Let me read this next part. Yeah. Let me read this next part because this is. I mean, I want to talk about it in general, but I want to get the facts. Although international law is arguably ambivalent on the status of citizenship as it pertains to robots, it is indisputably better to be a citizen than a non-citizen. Article 25 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights grants to every citizen the right to take part in conduct and public affairs.
Let me stop you there. The robot became a citizen of where?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, okay.
Ain't got a passport.
So, no, you got a passport, okay. That's fine.
I guess if you want it.
Why? There's no need for that to happen.
I know. I agree with you.
Let me say that.
I agree with you.
There's no need.
I agree with you, but let's
say the robot comes to America and start acting up. Does the robot get deported to Saudi Arabia?
Probably just get shut off.
Yeah, okay, right. So, what the fuck? That part right there is so stupid.
I know it is, and I agree with you. But this is what. But let me get through it. Let's get through. Okay. Let's get through it. All right. So, Article 25 of International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights grants every citizen the right to take part in a conduct of public affairs, vote, and be elected, and have access on general terms of equality to public service in his country. The covenant does not recognize similar rights for non-citizens. This is a moot point.
We get into the whole thing about what is to be a citizen or not. All right,
well, but let me
fuck all that.
Citizen assume. So basically, all right. So what does this mean for Sophia? Although the UN resolutions are not enforceable, international law holds the declaration as authoritative reference to human rights. A generous reading of the impact. Sophia has all of the rights, including Article 23, everyone who works has the right to just a favorable remuneration. 17, everyone has a right to own property. Hanson is obliged to pay Sophia for the work she performs and let her accumulate property. So they have robots. So all right. She has to get paid.
All right. So I seen a video the other day where a robotic arm made a couple drinks at a bar, and I was thinking when I watched the shit, I was like, yo, so do we got to tip the motherfucker? Do we got to still tip a robot?
No, because the tips don't go to the.
But according to what that said, the robot should get paid for.
No, see, you're kind of twisting it. If the robot is granted citizenship.
Damn.
But the only reason why they're granting citizenship to this robot, and I'm going to tell you why they're doing it. Okay. They're doing this. You know why Saudi Arabia is doing this? They're doing this because they got such a bad rap. It's the same reason why America elected a black president. People do shit to make themselves look better. Saudi Arabia
in the eyes of women?
Saudi Arabia,
in the eyes of women,
in the world, Saudi Arabia traditionally has a bad history of dealing with women. That'll make a woman robot a fucking citizen.
So birth certificate, social security, all that, right? So I gotta pay taxes too.
Yes, if she's getting paid, yes.
So all right,
so why don't you send us to war? So save human lives.
That's the next stage. So where does that take us?
So this is interesting. So
whoever wins that race rules the world.
So Nabi,
who's gonna win this?
So Nabi, see, your whole taking the thing is Saudi Arabia, because my whole thing is they obviously did it to bring some type of attention.
When you expected your country to do it?
Let me finish. They obviously did it to. My thought about it was they obviously did it to bring some kind of attention either to the technology or just to some whatever. I think
it's a partnership.
So what you said makes a little bit of sense.
That's an opinion. That's not.
All right, I ain't say it was a fact. I said what you said made a little bit of sense because you said they had a female robot and they're notoriously, known for Middle Eastern historically known for like
women not having rights that they do in the Western world,
oppressing women,
having different rights than women in the Western
world. So you really think that they made a woman robot and made her a citizen, kind of like to take the heat off of them?
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think that Saudi Arabia is one of the richest countries in the entire world. The Saudi royal family is extremely rich. And I think that if I had to put the story together, if I was like playing a video game and had to figure out the plot, or if I was a detective,
that'll be it.
I think that
save face for around the world to make them look a little bit better.
Yes, and for two things. There's three things I think that happened here, real quick. One, I think that Saudi Arabia did this move to get rid of the bad rep that they have with women. Some people would say maybe they're just progressing, right? Secondly, I think that just like how countries like in Latin America, like Guatemala, oppress the Native American looking people there, people like Saudi Arabia will do a move like this to kind of distance themselves from that Middle Eastern progressive, like riding around on a camel, blowing up shit kind of look.
The idea that we do have technology and we are prominent in the technology world.
And you can come invest your money here in Saudi Arabia. Thirdly, I think that a country as wealthy as Saudi Arabia probably put a couple of mil into the research to build a robot in exchange for being the ones to make him a citizen first.
Wow.
That's because how much money you think that it fucking took? Because who the fuck paid? Nobody paid these guys. Nobody said here's a couple $1 million to make that.
And nobody would ever think that technology would come out of Saudi Arabia first.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't mean to say European earlier. I said, wouldn't you? Everybody now.
No, it makes a lot of sense what you said. Dude. It makes a lot of sense.
But I'm saying, if I didn't tell you what country. You
assume
somewhere in the Western world, or Japan or China.
I thought said China.
Or a Western country.
Because China has one too. Like
or a Western country, right?
Japanese, Japan.
Or a Western country, right?
Yeah, but...
I would have said China off the bat. I would have been like, oh,
Japan.
China.
I mean, just China, Japan, but like when it comes to like the Western side of the world, I don't really think... They probably have some
we're the ones
investment in that.
We're the ones that are the most on that kind of stuff because we're the ones. The Western world is the ones that are attached to our phones. The Western worlds are the ones that are
closed circuit television and all that. They have a lot of
you know what I'm saying. The Western world. So, S. Perez, what is your take on this whole subject?
I think the whole thing is crazy. To be honest, the whole robot thing to me is crazy. Like I said earlier, I think it's cause for a new type of war. Honestly, and if they start,
does it make you feel uncomfortable? This subject?
No,
I'm saying like the idea of it out there and get us used or something.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
They're solar powered.
That's
solar powered. Solar powered. Yeah. I mean, it can't live forever. I mean, check it out. It can't live forever because, like, listen, a car is
it'll break down.
A car is an electronic device. A computer, they break down after a while.
But that's my other concern. That's my other concern, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that it's programmed, right, or whatever the case is. But
I think
we know as technology, we know that sometimes shit fucks up. So what happens when a robot fucks up? Then what?
I mean, yeah. Do you put it? I mean, if it's a citizen, I guess do you put it in prison? It's probably super strong.
Robot prison,
right?
I feel like the only problem with phones is they get outdated. The same thing you would have with a robot.
But a robot could download shit to make it. Like, that's the thing.
And never mind these intelligent people behind the computers that know how to hack.
Yeah, the only safe way.
So then now you got the first person that perfected the robot. Then you're going to have the first person in the world that hacked the robot.
Yeah. What you want to say, Jeez?
Well, basically, the robots that are out there, they're making them so smart, but the phones are not that smart. You understand? So they're way ahead of technology, and they're not